Hey movie buffers, it's James here, and today I'm going to be showing my Lord of the Rings films. And yeah, let's get this started. Okay, so here's the Ralph Bakshi film from 1978, and and it's really a good adaptation. And I've seen one of Ralph Bakshi's films, like Fritz the Cat, and that movie was kind of, if you know what I mean, you adults out there. Okay, and here's the one from Rankin Baths. I like this version. I like the Return. This is the Return of the King, and their music and their songs is really great. Even the orcs one when they're marching. But yeah, I kind of recommend this version and the Ralph Bakshi film. And here's Peter Jackson film that I definitely recommend. And I have all three of the films: Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and Return of the King. You know, The Two Towers sounds a little perverted because no, I wouldn't say perverted. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I meant like it sounds like a little, I don't know, wrong. Even though it's based on a book, but this movie was released in 2002 after 9/11. So doesn't that sound like a little weird after 9/11? But still, that's all I was just gotta say. But the Lord of the Rings is about after the events of The Hobbit, where Bilbo found the One Ring in Gollum's cave, and he gave it to his nephew Frodo, and to that Gandalf tells him that the One Ring belonged to Sauron, the second Dark Lord. And during then, he had to go on a quest with Gandalf, Sam, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Merry, and Pippin, and Boromir, and they were called the Fellowship of the Ring, and they must prevent the Dark Lord Sauron and the wizard Saruman from taking over Middle-earth. With that, they have to destroy the One Ring to go to Mount Doom. And with that, they had trouble along the way. The Fellowship has been failed. Like, Gandalf was killed by Durin's Bane. Durin's Bane is it's a Balrog that served Morgoth, but maybe I'll discuss Morgoth's story for another time. Even though he was mentioned in films, like in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit's films, but maybe I'll make a video about that. But anyways, the Fellowship was separated. Sam and Frodo were the only two to go to Mount Doom, and the creature Gollum follows them. And Gollum leads Frodo and Sam all the way to Mordor. And during then, Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli try to save Merry and Pippin, but Merry and Pippin was seen by Treebeard. Treebeard is an Ent who it's like a talking tree. He can move. The Ents were created by Yavanna to protect the trees from dwarves. But anyways, during then, the creature Gollum betrays Frodo and Sam, and because he wants to seal the ring, and he led them to Shelob's cave, the daughter of Ungoliant. And during then, they made it to Mordor in the Return of the King, but Sauron, on the other hand, launches his army to Minas Tirith. His orcs, Haradrins, he hired mercenaries like pirates, all three armies like he had. But during then, Rohan, one of Gondor's allies, came to help after the Battle of Helm's Deep, where Saruman sent his army of Uruk-hai, that are orcs that they're strong, faster, and larger than normal orcs, and they were the main force from the Battle of Helm's Deep. And during then, Sam and Frodo made it to Mordor, and they finally went to Mount Doom, and Frodo was about to destroy the ring, but the ring corrupted him. And however, he fought the creature Gollum, and the Gollum got the One Ring. He bit Frodo's finger, and then Frodo was trying to grab the ring, and then Frodo didn't die, but Gollum died with the ring in the process, and Sauron was defeated. In the book, however, yeah, he was defeated, but in the book, Saruman took over the Shire, but he was defeated, and then the War of the Ring ends for good. All I gotta say for the Lord of the Rings, it's really a good sequel to The Hobbit. And I recommend for all you fantasy fans and those who read fantasy books, I recommend for you to watch The Lord of the Rings and read the books at the same time, because The Lord of the Rings, it's really great. It's one of my best films I ever saw in my life. I was blown away. Even the third film won the Best Picture award in 2003. But it's just crazy. But anyways, that's all I know. Well, actually, no. Let me talk to you about the characters. The characters, on the other hand, Frodo is the main character, and he's the ring bearer. And along that, he had Sam to come with him. Sam is his loyal best friend. And Gollum, on the other hand, I must have discussed him back in my other video, but he still wants to get his precious ring back. And Gandalf is a wizard from the Hobbit films, and he wants to help Frodo destroy the ring and get rid of Sauron for good. And along them was Aragorn, the heir to the throne of Gondor, and Arnor. And Legolas is one of the woodland elves. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce that. And Gimli is son of Gloin, one of the 13 companies from Thorin Oakenshield. And Boromir is the son of Steward of Gondor, who... Actually, I'm not going to spoil it, because you have to see the film and read the book for yourself, what happened to him. And, however, Sauron and Saruman, on the other hand, they're evil. And Sauron, he lives in Mordor. He's a giant bowl of fire in the eye, and he wants the One Ring so he can rule over Middle-earth and cover the lands into darkness, just like his master did when he grew in power. He sent his servants, like the Nazgul, to find the One Ring, and he failed, on the other hand, because when the ring was destroyed, his spirit was diminished, that he was harmless to the world, and was sent, and he was in the void along with his master. Saruman, on the other hand, is the White Wizard, played by Christopher Lee, and he wants the One Ring, and he teams up with the Dark Lord so he can design for power, but also betraying him at the end if he gets the ring, because he wants the ring to control Middle-earth too. And he's a Maiar along with Sauron, Gandalf, and he served the Valar named Alway the Smith. But yeah, and he wants to control Middle-earth, but he lives in Isengard, but then the Ents, on the other hand, destroyed Isengard, and that's pretty much it for Saruman. But he's a good villain, though, and those two are the main villains of the Lord of the Rings in the whole entire series. Who else? Merry. No, actually, let me talk about them. Merry and Pippin are cousins of Frodo Baggins, and they want to help Sam and Frodo also want to come on this adventure. And along that, they got captured by Uruk-hais and orcs, and they met the Ents, and they team up with the Ents, and the Ents team up with them, and they destroy Isengard together. And then and then in the third film, they joined the battle of Minas or something, and then they were just best buds, stick together,